What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. How's everybody doing? Has everyone got that festive feeling? It is the 2nd of December. You guys are probably watching this, I'm going to guess around the 9th, that's my guess. Maybe the 12th, 4th, 13th. Hope you guys are feeling good. We're in for a leg day, but I thought we'd do a Q&A today. I thought we'd do questions and answers. And I'd be doing the answers, and you'd be doing the questions via Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're missing out. There's daily content there. We do Q&As on there probably a couple times a week, so I thought I'd put one out on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can ask me a question. Hopefully your question gets answered. And we're just going to go through a few of them. We'll answer them pretty raw. Like, I like to just pick up questions and go, because I think that gives you the most honest look into my brain rather than like a structured response, which a lot of people do. Maybe I'll think about some of the questions and answers before, but otherwise, let's get warmed up and get to the first question. So just as we're warming up here, we'll go into our first question. This is from Blair Monkman. He says, how big is the physical difference in putting on 10 pounds of muscle? Have you got any examples? This is a really good question. This is like, so 10 pounds, I do kilos. I'm in old money, or in English, so we do, I think that's about 4.5 kilos or so. So I'll put two pictures up. Both of them are while I am using anabolics, but one's a little bit further on. One, they're both right around the same weight. I'm not sure what weight they're going to be, but I'm going to go back through my photos after this video, and I'll find you one that is like, you know, one is literally 4 pounds heavier of muscle. 10 pounds heavier of muscle, and we'll see the difference together. So there you go. So our next question here is, and I actually get this quite a lot surprisingly, but people ask me like, how do you still have abs at 120 kilos? Well, there's a few reasons why. Number one, I'm 6'1". I don't know, you can tell by the camera, people will say I look bigger in person. Like, I'm 6'1". I'm pretty like well dispersed in body fat, so like there's no disparities where I hold my body fat. I also have a lot of muscle, like there's no two ways about it. I've been using steroids for 3 years, I've been training for 10 years. Like, I have a lot of muscle. You know, it probably doesn't look like it over the camera, or maybe actually, you know what, I'm gonna back myself. In more recently, it's probably looked like, yeah, I'm a bodybuilder. And that's it really, like height, metabolism, naturally, I've always been a skinny kid, so, you know, adding that weight is always gonna be a little bit harder for me. I hold it well, and I got some damn muscle. That's why. Fuck. Wow, that got heavy quick. So, next question here is quite a good one, I think. He says, have you ever had a client ask to use more gear than what I've prescribed them, or what we've talked about in a secure manner? Yeah, all the time, and I think I myself fell short of that when I first started. I kept kind of pestering Cal saying, can we take a bit more, can we take a bit more? And that was the last thing I should have done, because you want to get away with the minimum effective dose. You want to be able to make the most amount of gains on the least amount of shit that you have to. Why? Because you live longer. It literally kills you. It literally takes years off your life. So, you know, unless that risk-reward ratio is in your favor, you know, personally, you've got to be very, very careful about the doses that you use. And I don't think that taking more than what your coach has prescribed, because more often than not, your coach is going to be an expert, or they should be, or close to, or well-rounded, or they have the right contacts to be able to, you know, facilitate any issues that you have to them. You should always listen to them, because they're going to know a lot more than you, and there's going to be a reason why you've been prescribed a certain amount. So have I? Yes, I have. I expect people to take a little bit more sometimes and maybe run into, you know, problems, and they've gone, oh shit, I took a little bit more than I should have. And you know what? Like, they'll learn that lesson the hard way. So I would always say, listen to your coach there, especially when it comes to things that like mess with the chemicals of your body. So just as we warm up here, we had a question here. Natty or not? We'll do a really quick fire round of this. Oliver Forslin, who is the 6'1" Swedish God, lives in Dubai. I think he's pretty young, 22-ish maybe. Bradley Martin, I assume. He says Bradley M. He's a guy who lives over in LA. He was like the original Fitfluencer. deadlifting girls and shit. And then Rob L, Irish one, can't spell his last name. Rob Lipsetti. I'm gonna say natty, not natty, natty, in that order. I've been taking my leg extension sets a little bit higher in rep range. My quads, like, honestly, are just pretty strong, so I feel like I can put up so much weight, but I don't necessarily get the best connection. So I think just taking my reps higher, keeping the weight slightly lower, definitely gives me such a better pump in those quads. So, but always make sure you got the connection first. Don't worry about the weight. So the next question is, if I could maintain any condition day to day, but everything else feels equal, I would 100% be shredded 100% of the time. I think it would be absolutely gnarly. Maybe let's say you prep on a Saturday, you eat loads of food on the Sunday, maybe like Tuesday, that look year round. That'd be perfect. So you're full but like tight because you soaked in all that excess food. Oh yeah. No knee pains, no hunger, no could kill anyone at any moment if you say the wrong thing. Fantastic. I wish I could do that. Definitely shredded. Oh, I'm saying double. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, you right?
Is that the one?
Yeah. You just caught me just after that set.
Huh?
You just caught me just after that set. I'm fucked. Oh, so that set is absolutely spangled me. My lungs are burning. I thought I'd break up this rest period with another question. So this question is first show cycle. What did you do? So what I did, I wouldn't recommend on your first show cycle. I did a little bit, potentially too much. I actually used more in 2019 for my first show cycle than I did in 2021 for my pro cycle, for example. I actually used more. Off the top of my head, it peaked, so the top of it was about 400 tests. I think I was on about 250 tren. I think I was on about 300 mast, maybe 500 primo. That's already quite a lot. And then I had then I had Winstrol, Anavar, T3, T4, Clen. And that's probably about it. But this season, like, I was nowhere near that in terms of, like, I wouldn't ever do that much tren. I don't even think I used Mastron this time. I can barely remember. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't do as I say, not as I do. Good advice. The next question is going to be any tips for training around injuries, like tennis elbow, tendonitis. So my first piece of advice is go see an osteopath, go see a physiotherapist, go see someone who is an expert in that field, and then probably listen to what they say. Here's what I do. I go see my osteopath, Ross. He will then kind of give me a protocol what to do. At the moment I have both bicep tendonitis, but mainly this right one, and also pec tendonitis. I've been talking about these in my videos for the last few weeks and how I need a deload, and you can kind of preempt that. Basically, it's essentially every single session you're breaking down those ligaments as well as those muscles. They get to a point when you've made so much progress with your muscle repair, because muscle repair repairs a lot quicker than tendon repair, that it gets to a point where they're not fully recovering, so you need to take a bit of a back off. So personally, back off your training. Tendonitis is one of those things where tendon is very hard to get blood flow to, which is what's needed for recovery. So you do actually need to load it, but you want to be loading it safely. You don't want to be taking it past a pain threshold. You don't want to be hurting yourself or doing yourself more damage. Generally, the piece of advice I've got is like work off a 5 out of 10. If it goes to a 6, okay, think about it. If it goes to 7, 8, 9, 10, you're pushing way too hard and you need to reverse that. I actually start off with eccentrics, so loading that bicep tendonitis eccentrically, loading the pec eccentrically, then progressing to concentrics. Things you can do with bicep tendonitis, training the biceps is going to be quite hard, but you can try hammer curls. Also, if you want to do any type of pec movement or back workout, you can put the cuffs on. So the cuffs will take the whole elbow out of it. It's what they're designed for. They're designed to reduce pressure, internal joint pressure in your wrists, your elbows, and also your shoulders. So you can use cuffs. But there's a lot better sources of information for injury assessments, and I would recommend checking them out on YouTube. Fucking bicep. Oh, forgot about it again. Oh, that's tingly. Wow, get me on a beach. So, next question. What is the biggest animal that I think I could fight? That is the question. It's a serious question. You know what? Like, people are gonna say that I'm stupid, but I back myself against like a 200 to 300 pound bear, because I feel like I'm more dexterous than the bear, and I will slip it into a fucking headlock and rip its throat out. I'll probably sustain some battle wounds. I'll probably lose a leg, but as long as I got my arms, I can choke that puppy out. Like, I reckon I can take a 200 to 300 pound bear. Anything that's like 400 or 500 pound, it's gonna be way too strong. I ain't gonna be able to do that. So that goes for like, I reckon I could take like a mountain lion. I reckon I could fucking back it. If it's life or death, we're in a room. Who dies is the one who loses and gets taken out of the room? No. The guy who kills is the one who gets taken out of the room. You best believe I'm winning that. Anything between 200 and 300 pounds, that's an animal, it's me. 100%. Set it up. YouTube charity boxing match. Josh against the bear. This is quite a deep question. This is who inspires you in your life and why? I got different inspirations for different reasons. I think my main focal points, I say this because she was the first person to inspire me to actually fucking get hold of my life. It's my girlfriend. I've never seen someone work so hard. I've never seen someone apply themselves so hard to like a passion they love. And it's not bloody fitness, it's like her own niche of a job. And that motivated me to be a better person, because I was like, wow, if she can do it, you know, if she can bring herself through, like a female in industry, it's very difficult. You know, she's a big boss. She's a big boss, you know, and that really, really resonates hard with me. And it made me push harder. My dad, obviously, for various reasons, he's been injured, very, very severely injured, but has never, ever wavered his mindset at any point. So that has created a very positive mindset for myself. My mum's been through a hell of a lot. She brought me up on her own pretty much. It's this long story that we don't need to get into right now on a YouTube video. But beyond that, like, I find myself, like, that's obviously the cliche shit. Like, I find that taking little bits of inspiration from everyone's journey is such a positive practice. You know, like I could watch a Joe Rogan podcast and I'd have never heard of this person in my life and I probably don't know who they are, but I can listen to what they say for an hour and I can take some huge inspiration from what they've said, what they've done in their field. And I think that practice of being able to take inspiration from just anyone that you meet in person, in life, on YouTube, that you watch, you know, that if you can take a little bit of inspiration from those people, you can fucking miss a lot of mistakes and you can get a lot further than you want to do, you know, and you can do it gratefully. And that's how I feel like I've been for the last few minutes anyway. So, good question. So we're just going to do a few more questions while we finish that here, so you guys get a little bit more bang for your buck. So, thoughts on Jeremy Buendia's comeback? I think Jeremy Buendia is the best to ever do it. I think he could come in, if he comes in 100%, which he doesn't always, he struggles. In my opinion, he struggles because there's lack of knowledge around the area. I don't know whether that's Hani fucking him up or not. But when he comes on, I do not think there is a men's physique athlete on this planet that can stand next to him. The fullness, the aestheticness is really good. Fun fact, he's blocked me. Why did he block me? Because he was selling testosterone boosters, and I said, why are you selling testosterone boosters when you don't have any testosterone? And he messaged me calling me an asshole and blocked me. So that was fun. Current macros, just seen how Joe was on 850 carb or something mad. Yeah, I'm on pretty much the same. I'm on 300 protein, 850 carb. I do like 100 fat, which is about 5,600 calories on my training days. And on my non-training days, I honestly just try and hit like 4,700, 4,800 calories. And my protein's at 300 again. So yeah, pretty high. I'm to the point where I can't really eat too much more. I'm not a huge eater. I can't get up to the 6, 7, 8,000s. I try, but I gag and I throw up, so I just don't. But we got a holiday soon, which I will chill out a little bit. We'll finish on this one because it's dark and morbid, and we love that. So are you ever worried about dying early or shortening your life while doing what you're doing? So the worry is, of course, I think it's in everyone's head who uses steroids. I mean, if you don't, then maybe they're just a bit pig-headed, a bit, I want to do it for me. And you got to think, yes, you're doing it you, and if you want to die early, or if you don't care if you die early and you want to live the life that you live, that's cool. But just remember everyone else around you. Remember your parents, remember your friends. Those people also care. So it's definitely a worry. And I think we've been asked this question increasingly more with the recent deaths of Sean Roden, who else, George the Bull. People have been dying more publicly in bodybuilding. And do we know why this is? Potentially not. Is it directly the anabolics? I mean, I'm going to argue that there's probably a pretty big coincidence, or it's a pretty huge coincidence, or there's probably some correlation there. But I think for me personally, you guys have followed me, you guys know that I'm not taking the doses that these guys are probably taking. I'm probably doing it with a safer use within mind. I'm doing it with a regular blood work protocol. I'm getting ECGs and getting EKGs, and when it gets to the point where any of those results go, right, you are now trending towards ending your life very short, then there's a definitive answer for me. But I think a lot of these people aren't following those routes, so they don't get the answer, and then it goes, right? And you either have a health issue for the rest of your life, you have a heart attack, you have a stroke, and you then just can't compete, or you have a heart attack and die, or you have other repercussions of just being ignorant to what we're doing. So it's 100% a worry, which is why I blood test often, which is why I get my heart checked, which is why I get my kidney scanned, which is why I follow through with more blood tests afterwards, which is why I do a safer use model, which is why I pick all the drugs that I pick for very specific reasons. So I hope that clears up that answer. But of course, naturally speaking, we're all worried about that shit, aren't we? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. We'll be back very soon with another video. Peace and love, everybody. Bye-bye.